Good evening. I've been playing basketball for 10 years now, and throughout these 10 years it has taught me many lessons and helped me in many ways, and that to me is why basketball is more than just a game. I'm now going to go into exactly what it has taught me and how it has helped me. The first way in which basketball is more than just a game is the way in which it builds a community around you. My current club, Seven Oaks Suns, is a family to me. I've been playing there now in the Women's British Basketball League professionally for 2 years, and there's been multiple occasions where my heart has been warmed. An example would be a Hungarian teammate of mine, Judith Fritz, right there on the left. She's recently been diagnosed with ovarian cancer at the age of just 35. She's unmarried, without kids, and she's in a different country to her home country, knowing few people, so no family. So our team became our family. We uplifted her and supported her through all of the hard times. And although being on chemotherapy, she still came to training every single week to see us. And of course, we visited her at home and in the hospital too. She's doing better now, and she's currently on holiday in Costa Rica with another one of my teammates. But this story to me is why basketball is more than just a game, because it's a family and it's a home. Throughout the years I've spent playing basketball, at times it has been extremely stressful, particularly this year towards the end of the season. This is because there's been national camps and national tournaments, but also because there were the Women's British Basketball League playoff finals, where I got the opportunity to play at the O2 in front of 15,000 fans, proper fans as well. After the game, I was walking out and some guy came up, sneaked under the barriers, and asked me to take my shoe off, sign it, and give it to him. So it was pretty scary with that many people and all the cameras, but it was probably one of the most rewarding experiences that I've ever had. And all the stress from basketball has helped me cope with other stressful things like end-of-year exams or like school dramas. They're just not that big of a deal, to be honest. But yeah, I think this is because basketball has taught me that I can cope with almost anything. And this is thanks to a teammate called Katka. She's an American player. She's been playing with me for 2 years since I started playing. She's been playing for my team for 8 years, though. And she's the Michael Jordan of women's British basketball. And off the court, she's one of the nicest people you could ever meet. You see in the top left there. But on the court, she's extremely tough. I've seen multiple women cry in our training sessions. And I've also seen a lot of people quit at this level because of the high intensity and the hard training sessions. And you might be thinking that I'm treated differently because I'm younger, but no. So I remember turning up to my first training session after I'd been signed, and I walked in. It was okay. We did some drills, some shooting drills, and some plays. But then towards the end of the session, we did like matches against ourselves in training. And Judith, who I mentioned earlier, was marking me, and I kind of went in with the attitude that they were going to go a bit easy on me because I was a child and they're like these 30-year-old women. No. Judith, she'd grab my vest. She was like, pushing me, shoving me, like tapping my knees when I had the ball, just generally being nuisance. And I obviously had a look of shock on my face after that. But Judith went up to me and she said to me, just because you're younger doesn't mean I'm going to go any easier on you. And I was quite shocked after that training session. And I walked out, and I remember walking to my mum in the car and her asking me how it was. And I was pretty unsure about it because it's a big commitment, and the training sessions, as well as being high intensity, they're 2 hours long, and I got 4 of them in 1 week, and then I got 2 games at the weekend, so it's a lot. But then I pushed through and I turned up to the next training session for a reason I'll talk about later on. Um, and I kind of acclimatized to the women. Um, and yeah, I've been through 2 years of it now. And I would say it's taught me to push through when things are tough, and it's gave me the confidence to feel that I can kind of cope with anything. Um, Last year, I struggled with two tough injuries. The start, at first, I tore the ligaments in my right ankle, and I was out of playing for 8 weeks. I came back, I played for 3 months, and then I managed to tear the ligaments in my left ankle, which you can see there, and I was out for 4 weeks. But I think the reason that I recovered so much quicker the second time is because I allowed myself to rest and to recover. On um, the first time I tore them, I was so worried about losing my fitness and losing everything I'd worked hard for. And the physio, was telling me not to walk, and I was trying to go on 5K runs. I wasn't taking anything seriously, and I just kept re-injuring it and re-injuring it. So I think as someone who feels constantly obliged by themselves to be working or being productive or whatever, it taught me a valuable lesson that it's okay to take a rest, or it's okay to take a day off. And if you do, you'll come back quicker and you'll come back stronger. Yeah, and that's another reason why basketball is more than just a game. But this is, from a young age, this experience taught me resilience. I'd been playing at a club at around the age of 11 for 6 years, until one day I came home from primary school. Well, my mum picked me up from primary school. She walked me down the road to a nearby cafe. She sat me down and she told me some devastating news. She told me that my coach had committed suicide. And I didn't really understand what this meant because I was 11, and I still haven't really gauged the concept now, and I don't think I really want to. But because of this, my club that I'd been so happy at for 6 years was shut down, and I was left feeling extremely lost. So I quit for a couple of months until I really heavily missed the sport. And so I tried a few new clubs for about a year, just going around, and nothing really was the same until I found 7 8 Suns, which is the club I'm at today. And it took some time to get there and to be extremely happy again, but I got there in the end. And I think this taught me that I should always push through when things are tough, and that stuff always gets better no matter how bad it is, which is something that I wish Coach Ross had learned before he died. If my friends were to describe me, basketball would be mentioned, but I think it should be because it's made me who I am today. And if I'd have asked you in the crowd before this speech, why is basketball more than just a game, I'm sure a lot of you would have said because of the culture that surrounds it and the diversity within the sport, which is true and is totally great. But to me, basketball is more than just a game because of the lessons it has taught me and how it has helped me and will continue to help me.